but talk about kind of whole Latina background. I know that as of when we're talking today, that I know was it about a week or two you went to London for the Colombian protest that was happening?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, that was amazing.
yeah. Well, how was
Um,
that? Was it amazing? You said.
yeah, it was well, it as in so the protest was to basically in Colombia the president he is trying to decrease national minimum wage, and already the wage is at a level where it's not enough for people to be able to survive on day to day. Like the minimum wage is so low that you still can't afford bread and eggs. Like it's just, it creates for a very low standard of living. Like people are in mass poverty, and to then have government reforms to make it even worse is just like when we're in the middle of a pandemic and people are dying and people don't have jobs. It was just completely like uh, it was basically like you're assassinating people because they can't survive, they can't feed their families. um and so they started protesting, and in that protest they were met with mass police brutality. And
Mm.
I think now there's been 31 or 41 people killed by the police over the rates have been in the hundreds now. And yeah, thousands of people arrested, innocent people that
Wow.
have just been protesting peacefully. And I don't know if you've seen the videos of how we protest, but our protests are very like Colombians and Latinos in general, like we're very like bubbly, vivacious people. So even in our protests, like they're there with like the bells, the campanas, and we're protesting and we're still like having a good time. It's not violent. But when you're met with violence and you're suppressed for so many years, and you're not even given like the basic of human rights, like you're gonna meet yeah, you're gonna get angry because your voice is being muted. So it's amazing to see that the world has showed up in solidarity. It was amazing to see like thousands of us um in Trafalgar Square, and then we ended up marching to Elephant and Castle, even though it was originally organized just to be a standstill protest, but the police did ask us to leave Trafalgar Square, so we ended up being a moving protest, which wasn't even planned.
Oh,
But it was,
really?
yeah. But because we're the smallest ethnic minority here in the UK, but we're the fastest growing. So to see so many of us, and to see other communities also reposting and showing and sharing information about what's going on in Colombia, has been very nice, has been very powerful. And even like the clips of where when our protest finished, quite a few Latinos stayed behind and started trying to inform the crowd about how there was going to be a Palestinian protest right after.
Mm.
So to kind of create, yeah, to just so that they could show awareness this other community that is also suffering in the most unjust kind of way. But I think the world is waking up, and I feel like we're seeing the power we have when we come together and we're unified against one cause, which is, I think everyone just wants everyone to have basic human rights and to live a safe and peaceful life. And to stand, we need to do, when we do see atrocities, we do need to speak up and we do need to do something about it. And I
De-
feel like more and more you see that happening more and more over
def-
time.
Definitely. That's why I was so proud of you for actually doing it in the first place. I saw your story on Instagram about you actually going down there and seeing so many people. That's why I was so proud of you actually sticking up for yourself and being a part of it.
Yeah, it was very moving. Like there was thousands of us, and I would have never expected it. I wouldn't, because there wasn't even that much propaganda for the protest. Like I knew about it like maybe the day before, and I wasn't even sure if I was going to go because I didn't know who I'd go with. And then I just ended up seeing a bunch. I pretty much went by myself, and then I ended up seeing people that I recognized, and it ended up being like a very moving experience.
Wow.
Yeah.
How was it? You mentioned about being organised as like kind of like a standstill for a protest, but they had to move. I mean, how was it organised in the first place? Was it like a big Facebook group or like a WhatsApp group? How did it all work in the first place?
Um, I just saw people that are pretty significant, like that have big followings in the Latin community. I just seen, I don't know who organized it primarily, So I wish I did, because then I shout them out.
Yeah.
But I just saw a couple people post it on their stories. I think I saw like 3 people put it on their stories, and then I was like, okay, like I've seen it 3 times now, like it must be a thing. And then so then I was like, I think, and then I asked my dad about it, because my dad is pretty well known in the community as well, and I was like, are you gonna go? And he was like, I think so. And I was like, and then he asked me, are you gonna go? And I was like, I think so too. I mean, that's pretty much how my decision was made.
Fair enough, fair enough. That's the amazing thing about social media, isn't it? All it takes is like 1 or 2 people to put a little post out and say, we're doing this now, come down, and then you get literally like the next day thousands of people turning up.
Yeah, because I think I read somewhere that it takes you to see something 4 times before it properly resonates with you with social media. So I felt like, and I saw it the most during like the Black Lives Matter movement. So if you keep seeing this, like but I also, this is why part of me has a problem with all this wokeness, because at this end, everyone being like a political activist, but then it's like, are you doing it because you truly believe, or are you doing it because you feel if you don't say anything you'll get called out for it? Like, is it exhibitionist representation, or are you actually care about the cause? And I think that's the thoughts and the intention that people should think about when they're doing it. Are you just doing it to wash your hands of it, or are you actually like taking in what is being said and reading up on it? And just so that you can actually care, because like people are really suffering, and sometimes you see, and I feel like everyone can say they've been guilty of doing it. Like, you see something and you just repost it because you see everyone's reposting, and then you feel like if you don't, you're going to be shunned or judged. But that's why it's the fact that more and more people are doing it. So it said that, like, if you see 4 people post the same thing, then you're more likely to take it seriously. So now with everyone resharing resources, you will be bound to take it in, especially when we're all sharing the same information, as long as it's accurate, though, because that's another thing, is like fake news can get shared and viral really quickly, and we don't even know if the information we're sharing is actually accurate.
Exactly. It's so true about you saying that, because a lot of things can be fake, can't they, as well? And people don't actually always look into things. They just, like you said, they might just reshare it from someone that they might know, or that looking at it, might just reshare it, and it might spiral out of control sometimes, won't it?
Yeah.
But it's amazing that you did that, though. Well done. And you mentioned that things have already happened since then. Like
within 2 days of of everyone in Colombia protesting, they had to ban the proposal, but then they continued protesting, and we continued protesting, because just as a general, like, the corruption of the government and how poorly they've handled this pandemic, and just the poverty that people have to live in there is just a massive failure on behalf of the government. And I believe in their right to protest and speak out against it. And I think since they had the momentum going, it was like, okay, no, now we're gonna protest for a change. Like, not even for you to just not make the situation worse. We want to see active efforts to make it better. I think that's what they're going for right now. But hopefully it just doesn't fall upon deaf ears, and the government wakes up and realizes that they have a duty of care to their people, and not just to their pockets.